the album that we are going to be discussing is Equal One by Deep Purple. Equal One is the 23rd studio album by English rock band Deep Purple. It was released on July 19th, 2024. It is the first album with guitarist Simon McBride, who replaced Steve Morse in 2022. The album has been described as having a loose concept around that the idea is a world growing ever more complex. Everything eventually simplifies down to a single unified essence. Everything equals one. All right, Eric, your thoughts on this album by Deep Purple?
I think Deep Purple gets a lot of negative slack. And I would say it's because of Smoke on the Water. Because everyone knows, even if you're not a guitar player or a musician, everyone's like, "Oh, play Smoke on the Water. It's like the first riff that you learn, the da 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 da," right?
Yeah.
So, and then it's interesting too because as a musician, you get people say, "Hey, oh yeah, play Smoke on the Water," and then it's like, how many musicians out there that know that riff? Every single one of them. Every
Yeah.
single one of them can play. Every guitar player, I should say, can play that riff.
Yep.
Now, does every guitar player know actually how to play the full entire song?
No.
No,
No.
they don't. Right? So I feel like they get a lot of bad rap and I feel like they're so underrated because of that song and because of that opening riff.
Right.
But they're an actual kick-ass band. And like if you go
Mhm.
back to their catalog, like Highway Star, if you listen to that song, it is like quite the ride. You're
Yeah.
like, wow, this is insane.
Yep.
Like they have so many good songs. 7 and 7 is Black Knight, Soldier of Fortune, Woman from Tokyo, Space Truckin'. Like
Ooh,
they have such a good catalog, and I highly recommend anybody, if you think that Smoke on the Water is just a simple song, like you need to go listen to this band because and
people
go on.
should people should listen to Smoke on the Water. Like outside of that riff, that song is actually like a crazy song also, right? There's
Mhm.
like so much going on in that song outside of that really simple riff.
Yeah. Dun, 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 dun. Now, so these guys are very highly skilled musicians, and
Yep.
they're just tight as a band,
Mm-hmm.
which is good. And so now, when I listen to this new album, I listened to this first opening, "Show Me," and when the singer started singing, I was like, "Oh, this might be a little bit off,"
I had
because he
this
kind of
I had the same reaction.
yeah, because I was like, "Oh man, like this is gonna be brutal." But I felt as the album went, it got better.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
don't get me like at first I was just like, "Oh man, this is like a really old man singing." Like I could like I could tell. Now the band was good. I don't think that they had anything like banger like they did in the past, like Highway Star or Soldier of Fortune and all that, right?
Mm,
Um, But, like, there were some catchy songs, like, Portable Door, I thought was a really cool song. I loved Lazy Sod.
yeah,
I think that song
yep,
was really cool.
yep.
Lyrically, there's not much going on here. Like, I felt like they were kinda just mediocre
Yep.
lyrics. But overall, like, the band was there. There was a lot of, like, guitar and organ solos. Like, it was literally, like, at least, like, when you have a song like Highway Star, it's impressive. It flows very well. This was just like, just keep throwing solos at them. That's what it felt like, which is like, I'm all good for a solo, but I felt like it was a bit too much of
Right.
just like this album was just like, yeah, check out what I can still do on my guitar. Or right.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, no, it's such a interesting band because you mentioned like they're I think they're underrated in that respect because they're sort of known as one song or one riff, which is terrible. But I had to look and see who's in this band because like Deep Purple, I'm pretty sure is not the original lineup, but I was quite surprised. Ian Gillian is still on vocals, which
Mhm.
I'm quite impressed by. Roger Glover's still on bass from the beginning. Ian Pace on drums, still from the pretty much the beginning. The only new guys are Don Allery, who's replacing John Lord, who passed away. I think it was 2012, if I'm not mistaken, on the keys. And then obviously Simon McBride, which is the new guitar player in the band, replacing Steve Morse, who's an absolute monster of a guitar player. But
Mhm.
I'm surprised that, outside of one death, there's technically only one replacement position, which is the guitar. I am surprised that these guys have sort of stuck together. Um, but like, man, Ian Gillian back in the day, what a voice.
Mhm.
Today, it's like an old
It's a
man
little,
singing.
yeah, it is.
Like this is the same man who does Highway Star. Like that
Yeah.
that vocal run up at the intro of Highway Star is absolutely incredible. But like when you listen to this album, I think it's such a impressive album instrumentally, but because the vocals are so weak, it sort of ruins a lot of these
Mhm.
songs, which is the problem.
I I agree. It definitely did pull the like the band down a bit.
Yeah.
I thought it got better. Like the opener, I was like, "Oh God, no." Maybe I just got used to it. Maybe I just got used to listening to him sing like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I had to go back and listen to their old stuff, and I'm like, "Oh man, like he has really changed." Like you know.
Yeah, I mean like I don't know. I don't know why he I get when you get old you lose a lot of your vocal range,
Mhm.
but there must have been something else you could have done, like singing in a different register or maybe not try to like do a vocal sweep all the time. Like there must it was just so weird cuz like the intro song Show Me, it was like almost a Bob Dylan level of a vocal. I like kept listening to it. I was
Mhm.
like, this is like a Bob Dylan parody. I don't understand what's going on here. It sounds so weird. Like,
Mhm.
I don't know. Or like, and there's certain parts where they didn't even like double like take the vocals. Like it was just a single vocal take that they put in. I was like, you should have probably stacked these up to just like beef it up a bit. Cause like at your age, I just don't think you could do a single vocal line for these songs and think it's gonna be like really beefy.
Mhm.
I don't know. But no, Lazy Sod, I really like that song. It's sort of stupid lyrically, but like I like that. I really like Pictures of You. That was the one song that I really liked on this
Mhm.
one. Overall, I thought the songs were pretty good. It's just the problem is like the weakest link in this band now is the vocals, and unfortunately, that sort of just brings the whole like overall quality of the song down.
Mhm. Now, see that like it does bring the quality of the song down. However, I feel like you can get away with it with this band just because of the impressiveness of the band. Now, if you're a listen like and it's all because of their rap too. Because everyone thinks that oh, they're the smoke on the water guys, right? But if you listen to their vocals like Highway Star, probably the most impressive vocals
Yeah.
on in their catalog for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Now, yeah, you compare it to now, you can say he lost his voice. However, I think you can still go see this band live and be impressed with just the show.
Mm, yeah, you think?
You think that they can still play live at this level? Like they must be in their 70s.
I don't know. Like, obviously, in a live scenario, you're not expecting like even vocalists in their prime to be like hitting all the notes, right?
Mhm.
It's more about the energy on stage. So I don't know if like would I go see Deep Purple today live? Probably not. I
See,
just
I would go see them
hmm,
because I feel like if you're going to see a band like this that's old, right? You're not expecting them like if I went to go see the Rolling Stones live, I'm not expecting them to jump around and like
oh, okay.
give it like because they're old, right? Like you're going in with that pre notion that they're going to break a hip if they jump around,
hmm.
right? So,
Yeah.
but where I was going with this point was the vocalist Ian. He can definitely. sound the way he does and get away with it. But
Mhm.
if it was somebody like Steven Tyler from Aerosmith,
Yeah,
that's hard because the whole point of the band is his vocals.
that's true. Right, because there are so many like guitar solos, keyboard solos,
Mm,
drum parts that sort of makes up more of the band than just the lead vocal. Whereas like an Aerosmith is like it's all lead vocal and then Joe Perry comes in with a guitar solo.
yeah.
Yeah, no, that's true. That's true. I just don't know. At this age, I'm not. I wouldn't be super hyped to see a Deep Purple band play.
I mean, I am impressed that they're at this age and still playing like this. Like, especially like, yeah, sure, you could say the guitar, so like the guitar player, he's probably a little younger than
Yeah,
everybody else, but like the keyboard player, like everybody else in the band,
must be ancient. So Ian Gillan is 78 years old.
78 years old. I mean, that's impressive for an almost 80-year-old man
Yeah,
still singing.
yeah. It's impressive. It's just I don't know. On record, it's like it feels like a struggle. It just
Ooh.
feels like so much of a struggle, and like listening to
Mm.
it is so weird. It's such a weird album to listen to. But I mean, the song wise, like I enjoyed it. I enjoyed listening to it, and I thought like all the instrumentation was fine. I didn't really have too much of a problem with it. It did sound like Deep Purple in 2024. Like no, I didn't really have too much. It didn't sound like they were in the 60s or 70s, like putting this out.
Mm.
But yeah, like I don't know. It was okay.
Sounds like we got some spam message there.
Oh yeah, yeah. We got always got the trolls in here, but gotta delete those.
Hey, you know, I'm happy that they're still playing, and it definitely got me to go back and listen to their old catalog because I just know how good these guys are.
Yep.
I thought that the album, it was pretty, like, I felt like it was overloaded with solos, like, and it's probably just to distract you from the vocals and everything like that. But I actually thought, I'm like, oh man, like, can we just listen to, like, it was just like solo, 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 you know?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So, so I love a good solo, but when you start throwing them and start giving it away like candy, it kind of loses the effect
Yep.
of it. So, um, but yeah,
All right. Final thoughts and ratings on this album. Equal One by Deep Purple.
like, I didn't hate it. I enjoyed listening to it. I have like they still got the skill. Maybe not Ian. Ian's got a little, but hey, we all like it. It's gonna happen to everybody, right? It's
Yep.
gonna happen to Celine Dion,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
So I'm gonna give this album a 7 out of 10.
Okay. That's not bad. That's
Yeah,
not bad.
7 out of 10.
7 out of 10. Yeah, like I did enjoy listening to it, but man, I just could not get over the vocal performance on this record. Um, and there weren't any like super standout hits on the song or on this album anyway, so I am going to give it a 6 because it's slightly above average. It's still like a good band. It's just I don't know if it's really worth like listening to
Mm.
overall. It's interesting to see like hear what Deep Purple today sounds like, but it's not an over like I wouldn't tell people to go listen to this album.
Mhm. I would definitely go tell people to listen to. Okay, if you think "Smoke on the Water" is simple, just go listen to "Highway Star" and come back to me
Yeah.
and tell me what you think of the band.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So
So,
yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna give it a 6 because it's okay. It's all right. All right. So that was our discussion of Equal One by Deep Purple. For those of you following along with us every single week, the album that we are going to be listening to and discussing is the brand new Ice Spice record Y2K. I feel like this might be the youngest person we're reviewing. I'm not sure if Olivia Rodrigo is younger, but Ice Spice, I'm pretty sure the reason why this album is called Y2K is because she was born in the year 2000. Actually, Olivia
Interesting.
Rodrigo might be younger. I don't know.
Well,
But we are
first song, Fat Butt.
we're trying to stay hip with the kids, so we're
Absolutely.
gonna listen to some TikTok meme songs. All right, perfect. That is the Crossroads Music Podcast for another week. This is we're here live at twitch.tv/the Crossroads Music Podcast every Monday at 10 p.m. ET, 7 p.m. PT. Catch us on Spotify, Apple Music, all the places where you get your podcasts. I think that's it for this week. Eric, any closing thoughts, statements, anything to close?
I got nothing.
Got nothing. Okay. Anyways, we'll see you all next week. Have a good night.